I'm going to start with a few questions for Bhavana, and just really wanting to hear from you and your thoughts about, you were part of creating a poverty reduction strategy for the region of Kinston, Frontenac, Addington, and Lennox. I know there's lots of driving in that region.
Yeah.
There's been wide support from large anchors in the region, the United Way and the Kinston municipality namely. Can you speak to how your community gained so much traction with this initiative, and what is the key to sustaining this poverty reduction strategy you're working on?
That's a great question. So firstly, we actually started with the urban center of Kinston, and as we're learning from this, we'll expand into the rural areas, because we still have to figure out how best to address poverty in areas where transportation and access is a challenge. But the foundation was laid by this poverty roundtable that was created by the Mayor's Task Force in 2008 in Kinston. And what we've done is built on a lot of the work they did. And the first thing that we did was recognize that the city, the United Way, the Poverty Roundtable, we all had roles to play. The main thing was that we were working together with a common goal. We came at it from different angles and finding ways to first establish a baseline on how we wanted to move forward and guiding principles. So the whole process was very inclusive. It was built on trust and consensus. What was very rewarding was the groundwork that we did. We spent over a year in conversations with, whether it was a forum or one-on-one conversations. It was listening to people who were impacted the most, listening to people who were working in the field, listening to people who had ideas about what they wanted to do differently, and then pulling it together. So at all times between the city, the community health center, and the United Way, our role was really the fun part. We were facilitating the conversations, and even though it made us feel uncomfortable because there was chaos at a lot of this time, what was great was that everyone felt their voices were heard. And the most rewarding piece was, for me, at the end of it, was how people expressed that they actually felt that their voices were heard and something was being done about it. And the voice of people who are living in poverty or have lived in poverty formed the framework for us going forward. So that gave us a really solid foundation to move ahead. I think that's what's actually kept us going.
That's fantastic. What an inspiring story. But Pavla, you know, when you think of Kinston, I always think of it as a fairly wealthy community. Talk to me a little bit about poverty in the Kinston area.
Well, it's a tale of two cities. We do have a higher than average median income. We have the largest number of PhDs per capita in the country. We have, you know, really strong educational institutions, a large public sector, a thriving research and private sector. We also have a number of people who live, 15% of our population lives below the poverty line. They live on low incomes. A lot of people who are struggling to make ends meet. The number of youth at risk is higher as a percent of the population than Toronto. Our food bank numbers, like everywhere else, are growing. The nice part of Kinston is we're a very connected city, so everyone knows everyone else and everyone wants to help each other. So once we've identified the problem, a lot of people will actually, like you, didn't think there was an issue. They didn't think poverty was an issue. So I think part of the initiative was really raising just a knowledge base of what the data showed us. And once we'd done that and people actually saw that their neighbors and friends were impacted and struggling to get through some of the challenges of everyday living, it really resonated with them.
What a great answer, Bhavana, because, you know, on the one hand, you started by saying, look, we are a community with tremendous assets and tremendous gifts. And, you know, one of the keys is to bring all those assets and gifts together and bring them together with people who aren't experiencing the same level of quality of life as the rest of the community. And you were saying about 15% of the population. And really it's about trying to open up that awareness, but then also to move hearts to want to work together. And I love the fact that you use the words, work, what do they want to do differently? You know? So it's a recognition that all the good things we're doing, they're helping, but not enough. We need to figure out how we might move things along just a little bit more here to get this last 15% to experience the quality of life that the vast majority share.
And I have to say, the frontline agencies in Kingston do an amazing job, as does everyone across the country. But again, I think working together, having the voice of people with lived experience, having the agencies around the table, having individuals and organizations from across the community, that's what made it very special, and how everyone felt important and connected.